Okay, let's talk about how we are going to make our fish dish. Now, this one's more of a pinch pot. That's fine. This one is the one that I just did. So if yours looks like this, that's okay. If it looks like this, that's okay. And last week we did talk about how to make the tail, but I'm gonna show you again because I know a lot of you didn't get that far. So you're gonna have your little hunk of clay here. And what I'm gonna do is either between my hands like this, I'm gonna roll a coil, or I can do it on the table like this. Now, remember, I'm gonna look at you so you remember this. Nothing can be skinnier than your pinky. Nothing can be skinnier than your pinky. Okay, remember, it will break. It will not make it. Make nothing skinnier than your pinky. Okay, so what did I just say? Tell me. I hope you just said it. Make nothing skinnier than your pinky. Here's my tail. I rolled a coil. This is called a coil. It's like a little cylinder. I'm gonna fold it in half like this, very gently. And then I'm gonna flatten it like a pancake, but not too much. It still needs to be thick because remember, we gotta use your pinky to measure. So I'm flattening it, and then I'm going to attach it here. I can't just smush it on like this. It's gonna stay for right now, but as it dries, it's gonna boop, plop right off, and you're just gonna have a dish, which I mean is fine, but I think you probably want a fish. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back on. I'm gonna take my pencil. Remember, this is like my needle. This is how I'm sewing the two pieces of clay together. Okay, I'm gonna go from my new clay to my old clay, and I have to stitch it together. New clay, old clay. Stitch, and I'm gonna go all the way around like this. Now, if I just leave it like that, it's still gonna come off. I have to smooth it with my finger. I have to smooth the two pieces of clay together. We have to take the two pieces of clay and turn it back into one piece of clay. So if you look at your clay, now it kind of just looks like one piece of clay. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of like make my tail a little pointy down here. And I'm gonna make it a little pointy down here. And ta-da, I have my tail. Now I'm gonna do my little lips. Same thing, except I'm gonna roll a smaller coil. Like a little, when you're rolling a coil, either in your hands like this or on the table like that. I'm gonna show you one more time. So you take a piece of clay, kind of get it into a little bit of a ball, roll it in your hands like this, or on the table like this until you get a coil. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna do it the same way I did the tail. I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna make sure it's not teeny tiny, because if it is, it breaks off. And I'm gonna just kind of mess with it a little bit. I think that looks like a pretty cute little mouth right there. And I'm gonna put it where the mouth goes. Now, I have a question for you. So I hope you're listening. If I do this, is that good enough? I hope you said no, because if I just do that as it dries, boop, it's gonna fall right off like that, okay? So, what do I need to do? There's two things I need to do. I want you to tell me. Number one, scratch. Number two, attach. So I'm gonna take my little pencil needle and I'm gonna draw a line from my new clay to my old clay. Can you see how it goes through both? New clay to old clay, all the way around. And now I can't just leave it like this either, because that's still not good enough. I have to now smooth it out and rub those two pieces of clay. So now it becomes one piece of clay. I'm gonna stick my pencil in there and see if I can like make it a little bit more lip-like. Oh, there we go. I think that's cute. Okay, so now I have my tail, my lips. I'm gonna do an eyeball. So for this one, you're gonna roll a circle like this. I mean, that's gonna be a really big eyeball. That's okay. And my eyeball's gonna be right here. Is that good enough? No. I have to scratch and attach. Say scratch and attach. Yes, or you could say stitch. I don't know, scratch and attach rhymes, so I like saying that. So I'm going from the new clay to the old clay, all the way around. Okay, and then remember I need to smooth. Get rid of all those lines. Okay, now I'm gonna take my pencil and actually, I don't know, let's try, I've never done this before. Let's try this. Let's see what happens if I use this end because I made a really big eye. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay, now I have my eyeball. I'm gonna make a fin. So you're gonna take a piece of clay. Now, if I do this, can you tell me what's wrong with this? It's too thin. It has to be thick, like my pinky. So I'm gonna get some more clay and I'm just gonna start shaping it into what I think a fin looks like. Kind of round on top. Okay. And then, well, I'm gonna make it a little flatter right here. Okay, I'm gonna stick it right here. Now, what do I need to do next? Yes, scratch through both pieces of clay. Smooth. You have to do both. You can't just scratch and you can't just smooth. You have to scratch and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna put a little fin in the middle. So I'm gonna shape it. Kind of pancake it up. Put a little fin right there. Smooth. Kind of reshaping it as I go a little bit. Okay, and you know, you could also put fins down here if you want. I'm not gonna do that just for time. Now I'm gonna take my pencil though and I'm gonna add some texture. So I'm gonna cradle this underneath my hand so it doesn't fall off. I'm gonna make some lines. And I'm gonna do the same thing here, but I'm gonna cradle it like it's a little teeny tiny baby. I don't want it to break off. And then I'll make some lines here. And then I'm gonna put some little holes all around it, just for texture. Texture is how something feels. And as artists, we can draw or sculpt how we think something feels. So I want it to look like it's a little bit scaly because it's a fish. Okay, and there is my cute little fishy.